this is some new things that are likely to happen as we progress. And if you look at like the websites, you will find these kinds of things happening. Or if you see at certain, tracking some changes as you progress, you will see these happening. One thing is a pre-pack insolvency resolution process. Like IBBI is already, having on its website. If you look, there is like a report of they had put there's an MCA recommendation, like for pre-pack insolvency resolution process. What is pre-pack insolvency resolution process? There will be lesser involvement of NCLT, because NCLT is likely to face a lot of crowd that is ongoing. Again, see, like these are all reducing burden from high courts to NCLT to lesser forums. Okay, so this process, the planning here is that it is more of restructuring and less of insolvency resolution. So even before you actually land into insolvency, someone can actually initiate this kind of process, which means like you start to negotiate a restructuring, and you arrive at a consensus, or you arrive at an agreement whereby the promoters themselves can take back the company from the creditors. Because if creditors will realize that, look, if I go into a normal insolvency and I put up the company, it will become open for someone to buy the company, or apply as a resolution applicant. And there can be chances, or there can be cases where there will not be any resolution applicants, and then the company will go into liquidation. Okay, so there will be liquidation, and in that I may get something, I may not get something. Instead, I will trust the promoters, because genuinely they have been, like in a good standing until this problem hit them, and until, like they started to face financial troubles. So I will agree into a resolution process where the promoters will only take back the company. Okay, so it is more of a restructuring, more design of restructuring as compared to an insolvency resolution process, or which ends in liquidation. In here, the promoters will take back the company, and they will pay certain amounts to the creditors to just restructure and end the things. Okay, that is what this is about, and this is what is being planned, so that the NCLT's burden of so many cases can go down a little bit. This will come. So in here, who will progress? People who have very good drafting and negotiating knowledge. Those are the people who will abound in this. Okay, resolution plan drafting, getting negotiations between promoters and the creditors. These are the people who will work in this. And it's not necessarily people who are present before the court and are good at code craft and managing judges. Okay. Cross-border mergers, now especially outbound. Now, see, a lot of companies, even recently, if you see SEBI news, they are trying to come up, or like develop their innovators growth platform, because they realize that many startups want to IPO now. Okay, because they want money, they have ideas. Some sectors boomed, like internet-based sectors, which are media, or pharmaceuticals and ed tech and entertainment, and these sectors boomed in COVID. And these kind of companies, technology, cloud, SaaS sectors, these all boomed. These people are looking to IPO. They are looking to get, like money from the public, and they are looking to expand their business. But what is happening is that IPO is a very heavily regulated process, as you all probably know. Okay, so now what these people are doing, they are going to go out, and they are going to merge out with a Nasdaq listed company straight away. So India they may not be IPO, but they will get the money from that company for merging, and automatically they will become listed in US. Okay, SPAC it is called. The entity is, which is listed entity, is a SPAC, or a special purpose acquisition company. So it is just a company which has IPO'd by itself, and it is listed there. Okay, it is a listed company, and it is looking to acquire companies in specific domains. So they will give money to the companies, and the company which is getting merged with them will not have to go through the IPO and listing process. So cross-border mergers and outbound mergers are going to be, there. So your 234, which was so far like, it was not so active or hep, your 234 section in the Companies Act is likely to start becoming hep. And the RBI, FEMA cross-border merger regulation. This is what is going on. Okay. So you are looking at NCLT specializing maybe in cross-border mergers, not only just presenting before NCLT for 234, also being knowing how to progress in terms of the FEMA regulations and how to go about them. These people will get really good work. Okay. So these are some things which have not been in existence since decades. So it will not be something which like senior lawyers are already doing since a lot of period of time. These kinds of things, SPAC acquisitions going out and all these were not there since decades. So someone who is able to adjust and take these kinds of matters or learn and just go in depth and understand how this works. These people will get money because there are not many people doing this, right? Does this sound interesting? Right eye. If it sounds really interesting, who wants to go into cross-border mergers? People want to go into cross-border mergers? Very interesting. Okay. So these are new things which may happen. Okay. So in all cases, your drafting and negotiating skills, this will become like the necessary. Someone was asking me, how can I do very well in litigation? I am telling you, presenting before the court and court craft is one aspect. But if you have these, okay, you have excellent drafting skills, excellent negotiating skills. You will be able to earn very, very well without having to take the drudgery to go before the court, even in litigation, right? Because you will get work from litigators who are going to present before the court.